Okay, I think everything is as it should be. Hello, folks.
Hi there.
Let's get it happening on the iPad.
It's always the technology.
Always.
Always.
Okay, yes, it's happening on the iPad.
Yeah.
It probably won't keep rolling on the iPad because it hasn't been for a while, but we should at least be able to see comments.
That would be good.
Yes.
Let's
Okay.
see. 9 people so far?
Yes, 9 people. How about that? I still struggle to figure out on here how to read the comments.
As usual, our tech issues, even though we try.
Always.
Always.
Well,
but happy end of May. Happy beginning of festival season.
That's right. Happy spring-summer transition, depending on where you're located. Here in Southern Virginia, we were under a tornado watch earlier this afternoon, and we were worried, would that present problems for live streaming, and the sky didn't even cloud up. We didn't get a drop of rain, and now we're not under a tornado watch anymore. Go figure.
We're not too worried.
No, we're not at all. We're going to be playing in the key of D tonight. Hope you'll be playing along with us. This is not meant to be a concert. It's meant to be an online jam session. The only issue is we can't hear you, but you can hear us and you can play against us.
And that's kind of the point.
That's kind of the point. Beth is going to leave her capo off until the last 3 tunes, and then she'll put it on, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So just normal shapes for the time being.
Normal shapes, and for those of you who haven't joined us, a couple of shapes I want to show you ahead of time is I play an A with 1 finger, so it's going to look like that when I'm playing an A, and I play B minor with these 3 fingers. So
we'll bring that one.
We'll bring it up later, but I'm just
up.
going to illustrate it right here real quickly. So
Across
if you see me with this finger up in the air like this, that's a B minor.
Okay, G looks the usual way, D looks the usual way. I've got the fiddle in standard tuning, G, D, A, E, and I will leave it there the whole time, but I suspect a lot of this stuff would work well in the high bass tuning, A, D, A, E, if y'all happen to prefer that. Let's see if this is working any better. Dunno. Once people start leaving comments, then I'll maybe be able to troubleshoot further.
Okay. So I asked Adam if we could do the first tune we're doing. This is one I remember when I first started going to festivals and doing competitions, and it was a really big hit at that time, and then you hadn't heard it for a long time, so I heard it, I guess we heard it at a jam session not that long ago.
At Banjo Camp North?
Yeah, maybe at Banjo Camp North, and it was like, oh yeah, that's a great tune. So, and this is kind of our point, is to show you tunes that have been around for a really long time. Good competition tunes, if you intend to do that this summer. And just to give you, better grounding.
Yep. As well as some that haven't been in such wide circulation. But to quote Chirp Smith, whom we were delighted to get to see at the Mabatma Winter Weekend a couple months back, in a jam session of lots of unusual tunes, and suddenly a palate cleanser was needed. This is an old familiar favorite. That's how Chirp's termed, I think it was Soldier's Joy or something like that, in the midst of more obscure tunes, and I just love that terminology, old familiar favorite, because that's what tunes like this really are.
And it helps you get your bearings.
That's right. Rock the Cradle Joe. fun.
I love that tune.
I like those old standards. All right, let's see if I can pull up the comments. It says we've gotten some, but
Can we see them?
looks like they've taken away that option.
I don't know. Look on your phone.
Not sure if I will be able to keep track of them there.
They change something every single time. It's just maddening.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see them on your phone?
Don't know. Just don't. Let's see. Our video.
There we go.
Yes. All right. People are commenting. This is nice.
Sorry for the
Good grief.
always technology.
Well, and now we're having to stream on Beth's phone, but with me signed in so that it comes from my page, because my phone, as you may recall from a couple jams ago, has lost the ability through the Facebook app to reverse the camera mirroring thing. So if we streamed with it using the screen camera, not the other camera, we would look like we were playing left-handed. When we discovered that problem too late, we used the other camera, and that looked like a fisheye lens, so it just didn't work well at all. Now we're on Beth's phone, where the Facebook app does still give her that option.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Go figure.
All right, we may or may not
we hope
be able
you guys
to
are
keep up
doing
with
well
the
and not
comments.
having technology issues. So,
Yeah, there's absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
There.
Okay. Maybe I
What
found
may
the
not happen?
comments on the iPad. Not really.
Hit the down. Yeah. There you go.
That might do it. Okay.
Okay, fine.
The interface sure is different.
Yeah.
All right, Peter Bell is there. Hi,
Hey,
Peter
Peter.
Bell. CJ and Rosemary, hello. Hello. Tony, wondering about the name of the tune. That was Rock the Cradle Joe. Maybe you got the memo on that already. Sue and Bruce are
Hey,
there.
y'all.
Terrific. All right, Jenny from Tampa. Hi, Jenny. Glad you
Jenny.
found us. I saw your comment a while ago wondering if you had missed the live stream. I am in standard tuning, not high bass. All right. David Vincent joining from Red Wing, Minnesota. I remember that town very well. My desk upstairs that you don't like very much came from Red Wing, Minnesota. Beautiful antique store and a beautiful antique town.
Okay. Well, I liked Minnesota. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Sure.
Hey, where's this
All
one
right.
from?
Chris Curran, tuning in from Maryland. Hello, Chris. Hope to see and hear you at Clifftop this summer. Todd Pisek from Cleveland. Thanks for joining in, all. Glad to see so many familiar names already.
It always makes us feel better. And we hope we run into some of you guys this summer.
Absolutely. All right, the next tune is called Katy Bar the Door. I wish I had done a little bit more homework about primary sources on some of this material, but I can tell you my source, and I think your source too, Raina Gellert and Susie Gehring, who recorded a beautiful version of this maybe 15 years ago now, maybe even longer,
Great CD.
on that Starch and Iron album. So Katy Bar the Door, if you've never heard it before, it kind of goes where you expect, with one exception. So the 8-part melody and the chords that we remember from Raina and Susie go really well together. Let's play a little bit of that. No surprises. The B-part melody has some of the same stuff going on, but it starts really differently. It starts, don't play yet, with an abundance of E note from the fiddle, and we've chorded that a few different ways, and we decided to stick with the Susie Gehring way and the Susie and Raina way, which is the D chord at the top of the B part against an E note. Let's try a little bit of that. D chord. Once again. that makes the guitarist's job a whole lot easier. Not so many really different progressions to learn between the parts. Just sounds a little bit unusual against the fiddle, but I like that tension. And if it's good enough for Susie and Raina, it's certainly good enough for us. All right, Katy Bar the Door, let's do it.
I got those parts screwed up a couple of times.
That's okay. They're dangerously
hey,
similar, aren't
they are.
Now, all right, more Facebook weirdness. So you know how when we watch things like this on the phone, it often shows us so-and-so is watching with us? It was just showing me Terry Burdick is watching with us like 20 times in a row.
Thank you for your loyalty, Terry.
That's right. And what's weird about the iPad comment display, I have to keep refreshing it.
Refresh it. Yeah, there we go.
Let's see. All right.
Okay.
Judy Moldauer. Hi, Judy.
Rose. I see Rose.
Rose
Susan.
Spoons.
Hey, Susan.
Hello. Hi, Susan.
Susan's probably getting ready to get on the road.
Yes. I would think so.
Mount Airy.
Mount Airy down.
Starting up.
Bruce Brooks tuning in from Bailey, Colorado. First timer here. Thank you for tuning in, Bruce. Hope you're playing along out there. Jim Croft in Canberra. That's pretty cool. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What time is it in Canberra?
Yeah, if you're still out there in Canberra, let us know what the local time is so we can see if this is a civilized or uncivilized hour. Yeah, these aren't showing up in chronological order.
Sorry,
it's just a mess.
It is a mess, but anyway.
And now my phone is at it again saying Terry Burdick is watching over and over and over again. Terry says, ooh, 20 times do I get frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Free meal, maybe.
If only. So, we were just up a couple weekends ago teaching and facilitating jams at Banjo Camp North in Massachusetts. Always a good time. And one of the classes that they have us do there is called Be the Banjo Player in the Old Time Trio, where Beth and I play the instruments that we're playing right now, and we invite banjo players one at a time who want to come and pick a tune that they're comfortable with to play with us at their preferred tempo with some gentle critique from us about how to make the trio thing go even better. This is for people who maybe don't have jams to go to and maybe have done a little bit of online jamming like this.
And you know what, just for trivia's sake, the complaint or criticism, the easy criticism that is by far the one that we have to issue the most to banjo players is they're not loud enough.
It's true.
Go figure.
Yep.
They're always shocked. They can't believe it.
Even when we tell them to come in close, we're still like, I can barely hear your banjo. Turn up the volume. But the deal with that session is we have to know the tune in order to do a good job supporting the banjo player on it, and it has to be from the old-time canon. So this lovely volunteer named Elizabeth came up, and her first choice was a tune that I don't want to name yet because it's coming at the end of our list, and I don't want to give that away. It's one that we kind of knew. It's one that we had worked on.
Back from Rock the Cradle Joe days
for
me.
But it's tricky, and we just didn't think we could pull it off well on the fly there. So we asked her if she had a second choice, and her second choice was in a similar category, but we thought we could get away with this one, and I think we did. But it was so great to be reminded of the Florida Blues.
Yeah.
Florida Blues. And the moment we heard her suggest that tune, we were like, oh, let's include that in the next online jam list when we're in D.
And it will have a D7 in it, which
that's
will look like
optional,
this.
but
D7,
it's fun.
But that's what that chord will be in that position.
Give it a try.
Okay.
And it goes right where you expect. Florida Blues. thanks to Elizabeth from Banjo Camp North for turning us on to that.
But where is it from?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
If you know where it's from, let us know. Jenny, you can think of that as having been sent out to you,
Jenny, yeah.
retroactively.
Absolutely.
Down in Tampa. All right, let's see if these comments are working any better now. All right, I think I'm just going to follow them on my phone.
Okay.
Now it says Susan Sterngold is watching 30,000 times in a row. Go figure. All right. Well, I don't know if that's going to work or not.
You might have better on the iPad.
Yep. Okay. Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
We're already, maybe you heard in our last one of these, having to move the Jam archive off of Facebook because Facebook is discontinuing everlasting storage of live streamed videos. So we have saved all of the jams. They have already taken down our most recent one, the DDAD Jam, because that happened after they announced a 30-day storage policy. But fear not, we have saved that video. We have saved all of the others, which are still available on my Facebook page, and we are gradually migrating them over to my YouTube channel, which will actually be better in the long run. We can index them. We're going to do hyperlinked tune titles within each jam, so you can go straight to the one that you want without having to scan around. It's just going to take us a little bit of time to get that ready for public consumption. And this comment thread issue is maybe yet one more reason for us to explore alternative streaming platforms. If we live streamed through YouTube rather than Facebook, would y'all tune in? Let us know in the comments. We'd still advertise it on Facebook so that you know it's going on. All right. Yeah, this just isn't displaying in any kind of chronological order, so we're not going to really be able to keep up with the conversation.
I see Rob.
Rob Daves. Hi, Rob. Jenny from Tampa says Florida Blues is from Fiddle and Arthur Smith.
Okay,
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I'm glad somebody knows. All right, let's move straight on to the next fun tune. This is really a good one. Porter's Reel, collected by Howard Raines and Tricia Spencer. I think this is one of the Texas tunes rather than the Kansas ones. And I don't know, half a dozen years ago, wasn't it like the tune of festival season?
Definitely,
yeah, it was everywhere.
Definitely in Mount Airy.
It was everywhere. If you don't think you've heard it, I bet you have.
I remember Sandy Parks posted a really nice video of when she first got there, and it was like the first tune to Mount Airy, and it was like the first tune she heard.
Porter's Reel,
and she had a clip of it that she had recorded it and everything. So it was the festival tune.
Yep, it's so good.
Yeah.
Now, this has an unexpected chord in the B part, and Beth is going to play it exactly as Howard and Tricia have instructed. Let's see. That's the A part. Have to play into it to find that B. So my fiddle is kind of doing a G double stop, G and B, but she's going to an E major.
We used to go to an E minor because that's really what I heard more was an E minor. However, Howard and Tricia play it with an E major, and I think
we're going to do it.
We're going to follow the source. Source to us,
and it's being used as a passing chord between the G chord, the 4 chord, and the A chord, the 5 chord. So it doesn't have to be there, but it sure adds a lot of interest. It does.
So it's very brief,
but it
adds to it. And I always think of this. It is not a Cajun tune, but it just reminds me of a Cajun tune.
Yeah, it has a swagger to it.
Yeah, kind of think Cajun dancing when you're doing the rhythm. So,
all right. for uncovering such a great tune.
Absolutely.
Can't y'all understand why it has become so
Such
popular?
a standard.
Yeah.
We got to see them in April playing with their kids. Howard and Trisha playing with their kids is the Lost Keys, and they all did that tune, saying that I think they said they couldn't not do it because people get upset if they don't play it in concert because it's so popular.
Yep, and they've become so associated with it.
Yeah,
I guess in their mind for better or for worse.
Right.
In our mind for better.
For better,
right?
definitely. CJ, hi, we missed you at Banjo Camp. It was nice to see Rosemary, but we missed you.
Not sure if they're still there. That was a comment from earlier, even though it's near the very bottom of the thread.
What else?
I know, it's maddening, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alex Brown just tuned in.
Hello,
Love that
Alex
tune.
Brown.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for being there. Hope everybody's out there playing along with us, not just listening. Remember, these aren't meant to be concerts. If they were, we'd play in more than just one key, and we'd try to be at least a little more entertaining and informational, wouldn't we?
Well, we're pretty informational.
Well, in a way. Not in the way that we
you're
would
going to be very
for a
informational
concert.
about this one.
I am.
Yes.
You were feeling pretty dubious about including this tune, but I think it was your idea in the first place.
I suggested it.
Yes. We're going to play 5 Miles from Town. 5 Miles from Town, the one that's associated with Clyde Davenport. There are a couple other same or similarly titled tunes that are not the one we're going to play. We don't know any of those. But 5 Miles from Town, Clyde Davenport, is the tune by that name that gets played around everywhere, it seems like. And I described this tune when I released it on my Patreon banjo tune video channel a few months back as perhaps the most commonly played crooked tune in the entire canon. And I've always wondered, and you've been wondering too, what got this tune so popular? Everybody plays it, and it's not like it's an easy tune. It's not like it's an intuitive tune. I mean, it's wonderful, and we've certainly gotten to know how it goes, but how did this tune become so popular? If anybody remembers where you first heard the tune or learned the tune, let us know in the comments. Did someone other than Clyde Davenport himself record this? Maybe 30-ish years ago, at that time when the scene was really starting to grow and become more global.
See if anybody's saying something.
Well, I'm not sure if we can see current comments. Let's see. Nope, not so far.
Try the... There.
It's just not going to work. Not in chronological order. Here, I select
Newest. Yeah.
And that shows none.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's just all screwed up.
Well, if y'all do have any comments or anything that you...
We'll try to look for them afterwards.
Yeah, we'll write you back afterwards.
Yeah, now none of them are showing up no matter what I do.
Oh, man.
Let's see. The only way it's going to display is the most relevant option.
Okay, all right. You all want to be relevant.
Yes, you do. Yep, but they're in no particular order.
Well, boo.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, the bottommost comment is
CJ.
CJ. Thanks, Beth. I miss seeing you both, so that's a current comment.
Yeah.
But then the one adjacent to that is Tony titling Katy Bar the Door. Yes. So
anyway,
who knows?
Moving on.
5 Miles from Town. So if you don't know the tune, we apologize because it is a little bit hard to follow. If you do know the tune, you're a few steps ahead, but we both play it in our own special way. I don't feel like my melody is all that different from the way other people play it, but it's not based specifically on Clyde Davenport. It's just my way. Beth's approach to the chords is different from what I've heard anyone else do. Some people chord it always with the 4 chord, others chord it always with the relative minor, the 6 minor. She uses a combination of the 2. And let's review. Okay, there's your 1. Where's the 4, the G? 4, 4 chord, 5 is A with one finger, and then this B minor, the 6 minor, is this thing across the 2nd fret.
1, 2, 3.
So from bass to treble, it's
A,
open, closed, open, closed, open,
yeah.
closed.
And this finger up in the air.
Yep, all the way across the 2nd fret, and you don't really play the E string, do you?
No.
Yeah, leave that one out. So we thought that we'd go over the progression real slowly. Both the 4 and the minor are going to come up in the A part, and I believe just the 4 in the B part. We'll see if I remember correctly. All right, nice and slow the first time around. So that's Beth's progression, and you may or may not be able to tell super clearly while the fiddle is blaring away, but quite often when you're on the D chord, the 1 chord, you're not doing an alternating bass. You're just picking the D string, strumming a bit, and doing it again. D strum, D strum, D strum. I think that's a really clever way to deal with a crooked tune. If you do alternating bass through a crooked section, the guitar might kind of turn upside down relative to the rhythm of the tune. I don't know how better to describe it than that. And this is such a drony tune, especially the A part down on the fiddle, that kind of accentuates that quality.
Yeah, I kind of think of crooked tunes as being drony.
Yeah. And so that way you can hang on the bass string, the root note of that chord, until you know that a chord change is getting ready to happen. And you don't have to worry about that chord change interrupting your alternating. So, let's have fun playing 5 miles from town.
We're going to keep it pretty slow.
Yeah, not super fast. Not that slow, but not blazing. No, no, you kept it right where it belongs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That tune, you can just sort of zone on that tune. And
Truly.
I came to it was like, oh,
Truly.
what part am I on now?
Whenever I experiment a little too much with the melody, I worry that I'm changing the length. And I don't think I did that time, but I always am a little bit on edge.
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest way to handle the chords for that tune? I just love it.
Well, I'm glad he likes it.
Not just the progression, but the timing of the changes. I think it's really cool.
One thing that we do here in jams is that people just kind of rush it like it's a dance tune.
Yeah.
And you really lose so much of the nuance of the tune if you do that. So playing it at a more deliberate, more drony pace, that seems to really set it off as far as we're concerned.
It does.
Any comments?
Hard to keep up with what's current. Let's pull up the thread again on your iPad. Yeah, it's just not really keeping up. And I'm always having to scroll to the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Who knows? And now my phone is telling me Susan Sterngold is watching over and over. Hi, Susan.
We're so sorry. We would love to communicate with you.
It seems like a few jams ago, even after the fact, when we're looking through the archived version of the comments, Facebook made it more difficult to see when things came in and kind of what they were referring to. Oh well, some people have said they like the idea of YouTube live streaming.
What is it doing now?
What is it doing
Look
there?
at it.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to show a comment. It's like
Pulsing. The
pulsing.
pulsing where it should be a comment.
It's so weird.
It is so weird.
All right.
Anyway, moving along.
Moving along. All right.
Like we said, if you have any, if you have any questions, put it in the comments or send it to us in Messenger, and we'll get back to you as fast as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry we can't be as interactive as we like to be during these things. But we also know that a lot of people use these after the fact, so interactivity couldn't happen then anyway. Maybe pretend that we broadcast this last night and you're just tuning in now.
And just know you appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're so glad you're there. And the view count right now is 54.
Right.
Isn't that a nice crowd for a jam?
For
Can you
Friday
imagine
night.
what a 54-person strong jam would sound like
Woo.
all in the same space?
It'd be a little scary. You'd have to onion for sure.
Yeah, it could be a little scary,
You
but
don't know
it would
the
be
onion
a
where
glorious
you do it,
sound.
like, the jam set up like
Right,
this.
concentric circles,
concentric
so people can
circles.
hear better.
Yeah.
All right, the next tune is one of my favorites. It's one that I teach a whole lot on the banjo, and I like to teach it from the fiddle and have my banjo learners interpret it in constructive ways with some guidance. This is called Dog Treed a Possum Up a White Oak, one of the longest and most memorable titles in the entire canon. Dog Treed a Possum Up a White Oak comes from Southern Illinois. And I learned it at Midwest Banjo Camp maybe 8 years ago, give or take, from the flat picking on guitar of Steve Rosen.
Is that right?
Of all people. Yeah, we were all in a jam together with a lot of banjo campers. I was playing fiddle in the jam. A couple of his fiddle students were in the jam as well, and one of them called this tune. And how could I not get my ears perked up at a title like that? Dog Treed a Possum Up a White Oak. And she was trying to get it started and couldn't quite remember how it went at the top. And so Steve Rosen gave her a little bit of it right there on the guitar. And that was enough to get the jam going. And Steve kept picking it until it all kind of coalesced, since so few of us knew it. But
Steve's such a jack of all trades.
he is, and it's the perfect unfamiliar tune for people who are a little bit nervous about playing along with tunes they don't know.
Yeah.
It goes right where you
Exactly
expect.
where you think it's
It's
going to
got
go.
so many quarter notes, which is unusual for this music. Lots of nice empty space, plenty of time to get ready for the next thing, and a little quirk in the B part that you'll enjoy. Possum up a white oak. Isn't that great? I just love it, and I think that melody is so much fun, so unexpected. I don't know any other tune that sounds anything like that, but it's so user-friendly. We played a couple square dances a couple months ago when we were in Minnesota. We're out of practice playing for dances, and even if we had been, these dances would have been very, very fast for us. And that tune was kind of my secret weapon when I kept calling tunes on the fiddle and the caller kept being after each one like, you could go even faster, you could go even faster, play this one as fast as you want. And that one, with all of those quarter notes, I could play as fast as needed to be played. Now, the rest of the band, on the other hand, still had to go super
The free drinks helped.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they
did
did.
you have a great Bloody Mary with
Several.
like a beef stick in it
Several.
or something?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Try it again. Why don't you close it and open it?
Close it
again?
all together?
Yeah.
Okay.
Try that.
Let's experiment.
Up. Do that. Now up.
Ah,
There you
okay.
go. He doesn't have an iPad.
No, I don't do iPads.
So let's try again.
Let's find myself again.
And see, we're trying to see comments. So.
It says we've got 53 comments.
There you
I'm
go.
sure we're only looking at a fraction of those. Yeah, when I swipe it the way you used to do, the video just goes away. It doesn't display any comments.
There.
Ah.
Try that.
All right, maybe, well, they just disappeared. Did you see them disappear?
Dang it.
There they are again. Okay, maybe this is going to work. I'm kind of holding my breath and barely touching the thing.
Ah, you touched it.
See, it keeps... And now the comments are all gone. Now they're back.
Okay. Anybody
Okay.
have a
I'm not touching
something?
it. Nikki from Columbus
Hey,
got
Nikki.
here too late to try this one. I taught her.
Oh,
Dog treat a possum. And the
shucks.
comments are gone. Maybe there's something wrong with it tonight.
Yeah,
I
who
don't
knows?
know.
Our Alexa's been very upset tonight because of the storm, so
Yeah.
maybe there's something going on here.
Sure enough. Kim
Carla.
from
Hey,
Florida,
Carla.
I think that's from Florida, has asked about Midnight on the Water. Kim, I sure wish we could fulfill that request. We've got a little list prepared here, but you might be happy to know we have included Midnight in the Water, Midnight on the Water in a previous jam. I think that's the one that Facebook deleted, but we've saved it, and fear not, it'll show up on my YouTube channel before too long. So if you'd like to play along with us on that beautiful Thomason tune, Midnight on the Water, stay tuned for the announcement of the YouTube version of these sessions.
And we're sorry, we don't feel that we can do requests on a just as asked basis because, well, for one, because of the tech problems, so we might not even see your request. But the other thing is because we actually do practice for these things.
We do.
And try to get them, in as good a shape as we can. So if there's something like that we haven't done before and stuff, just tell us that's something you'd like for us to add, and we'll put it in a future jam.
Yeah, put a
As long
comment
as-
on an
as long
old
as we-
jam.
Yeah, as long as we know it.
Ping us or send us a
Or something
request
like that.
via messenger.
Yeah.
We try to not repeat tunes, and we're not out of tunes yet. We're also constantly learning new ones for these jams. So, if you have a request and we have done it, we'll try to direct you to the archive jam video where that one can be found. Carla from Minnesota offered to be our independent comment monitor.
Oh,
Love
okay.
that. Thank you,
Carla.
That's so sweet.
Carla was in logistics before, I think, before she retired.
Yeah, Carla
Maybe.
understands.
Yeah.
Joe was out there too.
Oh, hey, Joe.
Yep. Hope y'all are doing well. Wish we could hear you playing along with us.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do folding down the sheets next. This is another one.
Another one we find so bizarre that it's done in jams.
It gets played a whole lot, but in
Yeah.
a lot of different ways too. And so we have to get together on the format. We're sticking with a short form A part. Here's the A part. And that repeats verbatim. And then we're sticking with, depending on how you perceive tune structure, a short form B part with two different endings, or a standard length B part without a real repeat sign. So anyway, here's the B on the 5 chord. parts change over pretty quickly. Let's go through it with you playing the whole time, because the A part progression has a lot going on. Nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. So that 4 chord comes in only at the very end of the B part form, not twice in the B like you might expect, at least for the melody as I play it. A lot of different ways to do this tune. Raina and Susie recorded it. Another way, Bobby Taylor recorded a beautiful version that I can kind of play, but it's even trickier than this. So we'll just do it our way.
All right. that's a tough tune for the guitar player.
It's a tricky tune.
It is very tricky, and like I said, it just baffles me when people want to play that in a big jam session. If you're just sitting, 3 or 4 people playing and stuff, it's a different story. But in a big jam and trying to keep everybody together, oh my Lord.
Now, I haven't told you this before, but if you're thinking of it coming up, for instance, at banjo jam sessions, or if banjo players call it, I might be part of the problem, because that's one of the standard tunes I teach my banjo learners.
The truth comes out.
And I teach it earlier rather than later for a certain reason.
Truth comes out.
A couple chord shapes that it incorporates. I don't know. I think it's an awfully nice tune, but it isn't
It's
easy.
a beautiful tune.
Isn't easy at all. All right. Look at that. I touched the iPad, and now on it says Terry Burdick is watching 8 times in a row.
8 times in a row. Such a loyal friend.
Yes, thank you, Terry.
Yes.
We wish you were sitting right here with us with your banjo playing along. Okay.
Let's send this one out.
I
don't think they're watching, but
they're probably not watching, but if Rosemary and CJ are watching, maybe they can pass along the good wishes. We would like to send this out to our good friends Barry and Andrea from far upstate New York, the real upstate, as they describe it.
Right.
This is a favorite tune of theirs. We were lucky to get to spend some time with them at Banjo Camp North and actually sit down for a moment and play this tune
with them. Yeah.
Both of them on the banjo, and it sounded so good. Duck River, quack, quack.
I can see that one. Hey, Marsha.
Oh, hi, Marshall. Wish you
Give
were
Lynn
here
a
with
hug
your
for
bass.
us.
All right, Duck River from John Salyer. We have included Dubuque in these jams before. We have probably included other related tunes in our jams before. I was a little surprised to look at Beth's master list and see that Duck River had not come up before. So, hope you enjoy this sweet tune. so sweet. Everybody loves that. Ellen from Long Island. Hello, Ellen. We missed you at Banjo Camp.
Yeah.
David Reese tuning in from my hometown, St. Paul, Minnesota. Love that. Molly Mason. Molly, if your comment is in chronological order here, she's asking about the name of this. If it was that last tune, that was Duck River from John Salyer. Always a treat and an honor to have you tune in, Molly. Ethan Hazlitt played Duck River with Barry, CJ, and other friends at Black Creek last weekend. Ooh,
right.
I wish we had been there. I hear great things about Black Creek, maybe one of these days. Robin Willis is out there.
Hey,
Hi, Robin.
Well, I want to say something about, is this one from Dick Hutchison?
It is.
Okay. So I want to say a couple of things about that, and then you talk about it more. So the next two tunes we're going to do, Adam's going to tell you who they came from and all that sort of stuff, but I'm going to tell you about where I learned them from. But the first tune we're going to do also makes me think of my grandma, whose name was Minnie.
Oh, yes.
So, who was my dear grandma.
That's right.
That was her name.
The tune, just as a preview, is Minnie put the kettle on. Not to be confused with Molly or Polly.
Yeah,
Minnie put the kettle on.
And Adam will tell you more about it in a minute. But this tune, Minnie put the kettle on, and the next tune, which is going to be Grand Picnic, are both tunes that I learned from my dear friends Donna and Jerry Carell. And they, the Wolf Brothers String Band, did both of these tunes. And Grand Picnic in particular, which will be the next one, was the epitome of a picnic that they would hold at their home every year during the Oak Creek Fiddlers Convention. And everybody would leave the Fiddlers Convention and go to their house, have a big picnic, have your picture made. There were, how many people do you think?
Hundreds.
Hundreds of people. And when you all have your picture made, then you all go back to the festival.
And didn't they call that event the Grand Picnic?
Yeah.
But this is an old tune. I don't think it's a new tune that was written for that.
No, not that I know of. But
yeah, the tune title inspired the event title.
But they both of these tunes make me think very fondly of some very good times. Donna has passed on now, unfortunately, but Jerry's still playing and stuff. So these two tunes are going out in their honor.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we love to play them both.
Yeah.
This Minnie Put the Kettle On, as it turns out, is one of the wonderful Uncle Dick Hutchison tunes from out in Oklahoma. And we sure enjoyed being in Oklahoma and connecting with the old-time music community in that part of the country a couple months back at the Greenleaf Old-Time Music Festival. Very excited to go back there next spring, too, and we recommend y'all put it on your calendar. It's a fabulous event.
Very well organized and run.
Really,
festival.
In a beautiful spot.
Beautiful spot.
Didn't look like our stereotype of Oklahoma, and that shows how little we know
about Oklahoma.
I suppose. It was green and rolling and gorgeous. But anyway, we heard and played a lot of Uncle Dick Hutchison tunes out there, and there were a number of tunes we already knew that we learned out there were from Uncle Dick's repertoire, and we hadn't realized that. This wasn't one of them. But we'll send this out to our new friends in Oklahoma, as well as in memory of Donna Carell. Minnie Put the Kettle On. Uncle Dick played it a little crooked, just holding on to some notes longer than you might otherwise. We square it up. We learned it that way from Jerry's fiddle playing. Minnie put the kettle on.
Minnie put the kettle on. I saw several questions.
Yes, and some talk about the title of this tune. Susan Sterngold says she's been in sessions where people have called this Polly put the kettle on, but she corrects them. Sue McKay from Toronto says, funny, we learned this from someone on YouTube called Molly Put the Kettle On, and Susan says again, Minnie is correct. And that's always what Jerry Carell called it.
Right.
Ethan Hazlitt said this is sometimes attributed to Bob Holtz playing as Molly Put the Kettle On. Okay, we'll have to see if we can find a recording of him. Maybe Uncle Dick was one of several people who played it. Oh, there's Lori from Oklahoma. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Asking if there's a link to replay. Yes. Facebook has a new policy. These archived live streams will only be left up for 30 days and on my page for that time. But fear not, we're saving all of our old jam videos and migrating them over to YouTube. And we'll post a big splashy announcement whenever they're all indexed there and ready for
you'll
use.
Spam all the listservs.
I
Right?
will.
Yeah.
I will.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
Rusty Lane from Minnesota finally made it after work. Glad you could join in. Tony Crindler, I love this comment when it came in. Man, what a band could be made among the commenters.
No kidding.
Tony included.
Yeah,
Wish you were here.
included
Thanks for that.
indeed.
Yeah, it's always great to see who all is tuning
You
in
see
and
Paul Hamilton?
chiming in. Where's Paul Hamilton's comment? Sounding good, guys. Love you both. Hi, Paul.
Hey,
Wish
Paul.
you and your guitar were here.
Yeah.
Nikki has something interesting to say. Jerry Carell was at the very first fiddle camp Nikki ever went to as a chaperone, where she heard about old-time music for the first time. He was
Aw.
a teacher there. Was that
Peach
Peach
Bottom?
Bottom
Was it Peach
camp around Elk Creek?
Huh.
Interesting. All right.
All right.
I think it's time to play
So,
another tune. Beth is going to capo. We're nearing the end of the set list. We've got 3 numbers to go, and all 3 of these will be capoed for her at the 2nd fret. Guitarists, feel free to follow her lead or keep playing open. It'll be fine. I guess all 3 of these tunes will have that relative minor, the 6 minor, and the way that you like to deal with it in these is easier out of C position and then the A minor shape.
It is
right?
easier, and also I know
You know
where
how
to
to
find
do
more
things
things
with
with
capo
capo on. You know, I was trying to figure out how to say something very scientific about why do I use the capo on these tunes, and it's the same scientific principle that goes with everything I do, which is it's easier.
Right.
Yeah.
But not
So,
categorically easier. Easier for these
tunes. It's easier.
Yes.
So
Nikki confirms that it was the Peach Bottom.
yeah,
How
you were
cool is
Peach
that?
Bottom, yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play that Grand Picnic tune. I don't know where this comes from other than Jerry and Donna. Now, this is going to have that minor, so with the capo on now, it's the A minor shape. But guitarists, if you are not capoing to match Beth, feel free to use that alternating open and 2nd fret shape. That could sound good too. This is a pretty fancy melody.
It's pretty slow.
Yes, and it's a little bit tricky progression, so we're going to play it on the slow side.
Little rough start.
For me too. Boy, isn't that a jumpy little thing on all the instruments?
Yeah.
It's just all over the place.
Honestly, we did practice it, but boy, apologize for the rough start on that.
It's okay. They're all playing along and covering up our little bobbles,
Oh, God,
right?
yeah.
I only wish we could hear you doing just that.
But I hope you got the gist of it anyway. I just think that's such a beautiful tune.
It's really a pretty one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's nice at that pace. I remember Jerry and Donna playing it.
They
really
always played it
laid
really
back.
slow and really laid back. Yeah. So.
All right, we've reached our penultimate tune, and it's time for me to mention that I have pinned PayPal and Venmo tip jar links in the comments. No pressure, but they're there for your convenience. We're just glad to have y'all tune in and hope you're having fun. Thanks for bearing with our technological difficulties. A different version of them every time.
We will be working on that over the summer and hopefully getting it all straightened out.
Yeah, we plan to bring these jams back again in the fall like we have been doing after the festival season dies down.
Because it's time for everybody to get out and go play with each other.
It is.
Now,
And hopefully we'll see y'all around at some of the festivals and camps. Anybody coming to Midwest Banjo Camp next weekend? We will be there.
Well,
right.
we won't be at Mount Airy, unfortunately.
No, they keep conflicting. Ken Perlman just will not change his camp days.
But this tune is for the people going to Mount Airy to get you in the mood.
That's right.
That's right.
Round Peak Standard. That we were surprised again that we haven't yet done in this jam series. Sugar Hill. Sugar Hill with the minor chord. The way that a lot of the Round Peakers did it. The way that Chester Macmillan still does it, although I think he plays it without the capo. chord instead of the 4 chord. Is that fun? We sure like it that way.
It's the way
Keeps
I
us from
learned
sounding so much like Fortune and a lot of other tunes that kind of have that shape. All right, let's see if there's commentary, and then we'll talk about this last number, which needs discussion for sure. All right, Terry Burdick is watching 20 times. It's so funny how it does that. Don't know why. Looks like we haven't missed much commentary.
Okay.
All right. As has become typical for our jam sets, we like to finish with a waltz. Because why not? You know, they're just a breath of fresh air after all of these breakneck tunes. This was the other tune, the first tune suggested for our Be the Banjo Player in the Old Time Trio class the other weekend by that Elizabeth, whose last name I sure wish I had gotten because she helped out a lot with prepping this list.
Might have been Booker.
Is that right?
Maybe.
Okay, well,
Seems that's
mysterious Elizabeth, who was quite a lovely banjo player, as I recall, suggested Amelia's Waltz. I've never been sure if it has the possessive thing or if it's Amelia Waltz, the Amelia Waltz. She just called it Amelia, and of course we knew what she was talking about.
I've always heard the possessive.
Okay, Amelia's Waltz. Well, whatever. Amelia's Waltz, Amelia Waltz, is one of those great pieces from the legendary New England tunesmith Bob McQuillan. And it's such a beautiful thing. I feel like the contra dance community of which he was a part has all the best waltzes. They're just so lovely, and we need to learn a whole bunch more from that tradition. So the Amelia Waltz has a very tricky chord progression, and the capo is going to help out with the chords as well as with a recurring walk down that you do, right? Let's go really slowly. Yeah, it's going to have both minors, and that's a real advantage of the capo. So she'll use the A minor shape, that's
and
the
E minor.
6 minor, and the E minor shape, which I guess would be like a 3 minor. All right, so really slowly, A part. Walk down. Gives you a sense of the tricky but beautiful chord progression for Amelia's Waltz. Guitarists, other chord players, just do the best you can. We'll play it a few times round, a little faster than that, but not so much. All right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Isn't that a pretty one?
It's pretty. It's hard.
Just love it.
It's hard. It's hard.
Hope y'all enjoyed that. Tony
Very.
from Long Island said that she and her folks there play that for contra dances.
Oh, very nice.
How about that?
Very nice indeed. And I wanted to say also that I do have, I've talked about this before, I have, thanks to the help of Tony Krenler, have put together a list of all of the jam tunes that we have done. That we've been doing it for about 4 years now. And so I will be updating it with tonight's tunes, and it is in order. You can order it by tune or by key or by when we did it.
Do you provide the file that they can modify?
Well, it's a PDF, so I usually put it in terms first in key and then in. Well, actually, I could sort it any way that you want. So anyway, if you'll drop me a line on Messenger, if you would like it, I can send you a copy of it on Messenger.
Yeah, it'll take a little while for us to add tonight's tunes.
Yeah,
to that
maybe
list.
by the first of the week I'll have tonight's tunes added. But if you want a copy of it and you want it sorted in a particular way, I can do that.
Yes.
So,
all right. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
appreciate it.
Hope you enjoyed jamming along.
and have a wonderful summer.
Yep, enjoy the festival season. If you see us out and about at festivals or camps, please say hello.
Yeah, absolutely.
And stay tuned for information about the archive jam videos becoming available on YouTube later this summer, I would guess, as well as for announcements about the resumption of the live streamed jams. Maybe on Facebook, maybe on YouTube. We'll see what happens on into the fall sometime.
All right.
All right, be
All right.
well.
Good night.
Cheers.